Hi everyone! This week I bought a flame grapevine at the local nursery, but I needed a place to plant it. I looked online to find out what would be a good variety of seedless grape in my area, and flame grapes were one of those options. And since I don't have a bed for it, I asked my husband to build me one. Like our other garden beds, we're using redwood because it's easier to find in my area than cedar. The only cedar I can find is thin fence board, which isn't really a great option for sturdy garden beds. Here is some video of my husband putting together pieces of the bed. Here's the bed in its permanent home. Now to fill it. We added some garden liner around the sides to help protect the wood, but left the bottom open so that the roots have more space to grow. We put down some plain cardboard and added some woody branches, then added some soil, some leaves with some kitchen scraps. I'm trying to make compost, but we're finding that we use up the scraps before they have time to actually compost. I'll get better, but I'm new at this, so it's a learning process at the moment. After that, we put a bunch of soil in again so we could replant the grapevine. We transferred some soil from one of our raised beds and gross, we found some grubs. We pulled out every grub we could find, but it's an eternal issue where I live. We have beneficial nematodes for the beds, and we already treated them with some milky spores, but those take some time to work. So for now, hand picking is the way to go. I tried using an auger drill attachment to make the hole, but I was struggling with it, so I just grabbed a spade and dug out a hole myself. I loosened up the soil and the roots of the grapevine so they could spread easily and dropped it in the bed. I noticed it was still a little low, so I topped off some more soil and watered in the new vine. I'm so excited to try my hand at growing grapes. I'll keep you updated on how the grapevine is doing in future videos. I am also trying to make a new to me recipe every week to better my cooking skills. My new recipe for this week was a red chili. I've made white chicken chili many times, but never red chili. I did use a recipe I found online, so I will leave a link in the description for that. The recipe is for a slow cooker, but I'm using my Dutch oven because my slow cooker broke and I haven't replaced it yet. I started by dicing up the veggies. The recipe calls for 2 onions and 1 pepper, but I decided to roast some bell peppers and poblanos because we are big pepper fans. The recipe says to mince 4 cloves of garlic and set everything to the side, but I'm using garlic from my freezer that I pureed since I didn't have any fresh stuff. I cut up a chuck roast into large chunks and rubbed some salt and pepper on the meat. I added about a tablespoon of oil to the pan, browned the beef on all sides, and then placed it to the side on a plate. Next, I added another tablespoon of oil to the pan and then the garlic, peppers, and onions if you're using them. I substituted an onion powder later in the recipe and used lots of peppers. Add 1/2 cup of beef stock or bouillon so you can scrape up the browned bits on the bottom of the pan because that is some great flavor. Add all of this to your slow cooker or a Dutch oven if you're doing it the way I'm doing it. Next, add a 28-ounce can of red kidney beans, a 28-ounce can of crushed or diced tomatoes, a 1/4 cup of tomato paste, and 1 more cup of beef stock or bouillon. Now for the spices, and don't be like me because I forgot. I had to pull it out and put more in. Add 1 tablespoon each of cumin, onion powder, garlic powder, oregano, and smoked paprika. Add 1 tablespoon of cayenne pepper and then salt and pepper to taste. Stir all of that together and then add the beef chunks back in. They won't completely submerge at first, but the beef juice that they release will raise the liquid level. If you're using a slow cooker, you'll cook this on low for 8 hours. I preheated my oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit, about 180 Celsius, and let everything cook in the Dutch oven for about 3 to 3.5 hours. After that, you'll remove the beef from the pot, shred it up, and return it back to the pot. The recipe also says to add a cornstarch slurry of 3 tablespoons cornstarch to another 1/4 cup of beef stock, but I found this chili to be extremely thick already, so I didn't use the cornstarch, but I did add the extra stock. We served this with corn tortillas cut into quarters and ate them like little bite-sized chili tacos. This chili was great. Not very spicy, just a hint of heat from the cayenne, but there is so much flavor packed into this. I will definitely make this one again. I wanted to thank you for watching my video. And I hope to see you here next week for my next update and recipe.